So there are these really neat things called bears, and get this, there's more than 3 types of them. Apparently there's like 4. Bears are really cool creatures. Here's a video that I took of a bear. Yep, indeed, I was in the car at that time, and it got really close, and actually, I died for real that day. That is not fake, that is true and factual. Despite how cool bears are, there are actually no official rankings of each class of bear compared to their contemporaries, so today we're gonna make one. I figure now is the best time to do so, considering nothing topical can get me. Spooky month has been long dead, and all the bears are going into hibernation. I'm completely safe, so we have all the major genres of bear in place, and we're going to be putting them in a tier list, starting with black bears. I think they're really cool personally. They're not really talked about as much compared to grizzlies or like pandas from my experience, and I think that that's a shame. They're solid, respectable bears, so I think I will put them in the B tier. You know, for alliteration purposes. Next up are polar bears. They're definitely more in the public consciousness nowadays, I'd say. That being said, I feel like I personally might be biased in their favor because they live in wintry climates, and winter is my favorite season, so just to make sure that I'm not biased, I'm putting polar bears down in the F tier. We don't want any Nepo babies in the top tiers. Grizzly bears are up next, and I actually have experience with grizzlies, as you saw earlier. You know what that means, I'm biased, so just to make sure that this tier list is fair, I'm dropping grizzlies down to the F tier as well. Growler bears I'm probably mega biased towards because they're combos of grizzly and polar bears. What am I supposed to C tier? Next up we have a fan favorite classic, the 6-legged super bears. I remember that one incident in the news where the one broke into a convenience store and stole all the candy bars. That was funny. I think just for that I gotta put them up in A tier. I hope one of them drops by and gives me some of those candy bars, cause yeah. So now those are all the real bears, you know, the ones that aren't just people in costume. I think now would be a good time to move on to fictional bears, and of course we're gonna be starting with Yogi Bear from the hit show Yogi Bear. Now the thing about Yogi Bear from the hit show Yogi Bear is that he's an anarchist. He steals picnic baskets, and people give him flack for it, even his close friends.
Boo boo, we gotta steal, like, food or something, like...
But what about law enforcement?
Shut the f*** up, you stupid!
I just don't think it's fair. I mean, he's trying to make an honest living. Yogi Bear is, if you think about it, a true communist and humanitarian icon. So we will be ranking Yogi in the A tier, but of course Boo Boo, that little idiot, he's gonna be dropping to F tier. Next up on the list we have the Berenstain Bears. I didn't grow up with these guys personally, I actually grew up with the Berenstein Bears. Listen, Berenstain just is not natural to me. That is not a name that bears should have, really. But Berenstein, that is a beautiful name. Very elegant, very mindful, very demure. So now the Berenstein Bears will be put in B tier, and the Berenstain Bears will go unranked because they're not real to me. Next up is Paddington Bear, and he's an easy S tier. Like, was there really any disputing that? I mean, it's Paddington, just look at him. Okay, next up is Banjo, and okay, listen, I was born just a little too late, so I didn't really grow up with him, but looking back on him now, I've played Banjo Pilot. You gotta understand, I just haven't played that many good games for some reason. I'm into like Mario and Pokemon. Like the only Sonic game I've beaten is the original one on the Game Gear. I've never beaten a Zelda game out of the two. Like I've tried A Link to the Past and Breath of the Wild, and I enjoyed both of them, but I've never finished them. Like Team Fortress 2, what is that? Okay, look, I'm getting off track. What this all comes down to is that Banjo is going on Nintendo consoles where he belongs. He deserves to be in the high tier for once. Okay, I know what you're all here for. It's time that we rank the one bear that you've all been waiting for. I'm not gonna beat around the bush anymore. It's time to get to this one. He's really popular on the internet. been that way for quite some time. He got his own movie recently. They're gearing up to release another one. Give it up for Norm of the North. Fly high, King. You tried your best, but you just couldn't overcome the addiction. D tier. As good as Norm of the North is, he is a Twitter user. Gummy Bear's up next. I actually haven't heard his album, so let's take a listen to that real quick. That was kind of mid, nothing special, but you know what? He could probably kick my ass just for saying that. I hear bears are pretty dangerous. So, you know, just to appease him, I'm gonna bump him up to A tier. Alright, Gummy Bear's album wasn't exactly fire, so what? But you know what? That's a good thing, because Smokey the Bear doesn't like fires, which is pretty ironic considering he's kinda hot. I would just like to apologize for my statements regarding Smokey the Bear. As reparations for calling him hot, I'm moving him down to D tier.
Wait, no, I didn't mean it like that. Please, I got a family to feed.
But you know what? I am not sorry for putting Baloo down in F- tier, because that bitch should be apologizing to me. He owes me so much money, and every time I try to collect on it, he just sings me the stupid song about bare necessities. Whatever. Listen, I need my money. I'll tell you what you need, Baloo. You need to lock your doors, buddy. You may be a big tough bear who could beat me up, but Winnie the Pooh isn't. Winnie the Pooh is precious. I have a lot of respect for him. He's just a chill guy. People are kind of messing with him because he's in the public domain, but he's not throwing a fit over it, you know? No harm, no foul. He just lets people have their fun. He can take a joke. I also really liked him in that one live-action movie with Obi-Wan Kenobi in it. That was really silly, so he's going straight into S tier. Alright, so I think we covered all the fictional bears, so now we're gonna get to the fake fictional bears, specifically animatronic bears. Billy Bob from the Rockafire Explosion is up first. I was a Chuck E. Cheese kid growing up, in case you couldn't tell, but to be honest, I never really had much brand loyalty to old Charles. I feel like the Rockafire Explosion band was wrongfully executed. I think they should bring him back, so Billy Bob goes into the B tier. And now, it's time for a bear that you've all been waiting for, Freddy Fazbear. As you can see, he likes to ominously loom in the doorway, but it's okay because nothing bad is gonna happen with him. Freddy, don't do that. Dang, that was scary. Good thing I had time to change into my safety shirt. Oh, I know this thing. It's a bear. This one is actually pretty personal to me. I used to keep it in my room until I was like 6. Then I asked my mom to take it out because I thought I saw it move one time. Good times. Of course, that was at like 3 in the morning, so I was probably just dreaming or something. Anyways, yeah. Dude, what is your problem? What was that? The light flickering was actually supposed to be a warning? What's that? This bear can move after all? What's that? I'm not supposed to let it out of my sight? Oh. See, that's my bad. That's okay, though. Should be fine, as long as it doesn't have a Well, guys, I have some bad news. Or good news, depending on your perspective. I'm a bear now. So where do I rank on the tier list? Well, to be honest with you, I'm probably a little biased towards myself. So just to prove that I'm not, I'm putting myself in the F- tier. Good day.